Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado. If you want to find out anything about me, go to MySpace where I have a page. This here is about debt collectors, these wannabe IRS agents, that is. Uh, Here are some interesting facts that you should know about them. First of all, they have no authority to have you arrested. They cannot garnish your wages. They cannot have your bank account frozen. Uh, they basically have no more authority than even I do. And of course, I'm not a debt collector. If they ever contact you at work, you tell them not to contact you at work, that it is that you will not put up with it anymore, and you'll contact the attorney general if they do. The same way with at your home, or if they send you a letter through the mail, tell them not to write you again. If they do break any of these three things, call you at home, work, or send you a letter, then you contact the attorney general, and they will be dealt with. They do not have any right to harass you. These debt collectors basically are nothing more than a bunch of thugs, or like I said, want to be IRS agents, people who want to make a living off the demise of others. But what I really resent about debt collectors, and I've only had a run in with them about twice in my life, three times in my life, um, is that when they get a client, let's say, company asks them to collect debt from a customer, let's say a bank, or let's say a credit card company. Well, that credit card company doesn't have to that debt collector that customer really owes anything. There's no proof required. The debt collector is just going to try to collect it whether it's a legitimate or not. That ought to be illegal. Example, Alltel about 3 years ago took my monthly bill about $50-something and raised it up to about 65. I asked them why. They refused to answer. Then they put all these new charges on here for ringtones and things like that, and I have no idea where it came from. I told them I'm not paying for stuff I didn't, order or ask for, and I still want to know why you are charging me more for my cell phone, my monthly bills, because I don't even come close to using up all my hours or my time on it. So it couldn't be for any long distance calls. They refused to answer. So I said, okay, I want you to turn it off. They refused to turn it off, even though my contract had been up a long time before that, at least a year before that. And so when they realized I wasn't going to pay the bill, then they turned it off. Then they all of a sudden jacked up the price real high and said, well, now you owe us all this money. And I told them I don't pay extortion money. I'm not going to be extorted. Well, we'll ruin your credit. And I again asked, would you please explain to me where all these new charges came from? They refused to answer. All they gave to me was, we want our money. They didn't help me. They didn't do anything. That's how evil, that's how crooked these people are. So that's another crooked American corporation, or crooked, of course, there's foreign corporations in America that are just as crooked. But that's just how they steal their money from their customers. They don't care about you or me. They just want that money of ours. They're going to steal it any way they can, kind of like credit card companies. Anyhow, I refused to pay it. So they stuck a few debt collectors on me, one from Arkansas, I think one from Missouri, and one from New York, and I told them where they could ship it. Not literally, though. I just basically told them, you are not to call me at work, you are not to call me at home, and you will not send me any more letters, or we'll contact the Attorney General. I did contact the Arkansas Attorney General. Well, Alltel has its headquarters in Little Rock, and they did an investigation. But the laws are set up where you can't really get any justice. They pretty much bought Congress off, and they bought half the attorneys in the country off. A lot of these corporations like Alltel, Sears, Master Credit Card, Wells Fargo Bank, they own just numerous law firms. They're on their payroll, and they'd rather spend $1 million to these lawyers to keep one of their customers who has a legitimate claim or grievance from collecting a dollar. That's how these corporations work. They just got to keep those attorneys happy. But anyhow, these wannabe IRS agents or debt collectors have no authority whatsoever over you. They cannot harass you. If they harass you, they can actually be arrested for that or sued. And basically, if people start suing them, I think that'd put them out of business because they're worthless. It's just a worthless occupation. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're ever contacted by a debt collector, just send a letter back, tell them don't contact back again, or you'll contact Attorney General, and that's pretty much it. Same way if they call you at work or call you at home. Do not allow these people to harass you. That's the number one thing you have to keep in mind. This is a profession that should not even exist. It's up to each company or whatever to like Alltel. If Alltel says I really owed them that money, well, then why didn't they? There ought to be some laws that make it possible for me to present my case that they jacked up the cost on my phone without giving me explaining anything to me. They added new charges on there without explaining anything to me. And when I asked them for it, they refused to tell me why they did this. Well, there's where the problem lies. If I'm right, and I know I'm right, and I'm justified in not paying it, I'll pay the regular monthly, the phone bill, of course. Then I should have an avenue in which to present my case. But our system is set up where you don't get that, and so Alltel, just like any other company, can just call these debt collectors and these credit card our credit companies and say this person didn't pay up and we want our money, and we're going to tell the credit companies to do some damage to your credit, and we don't have to prove anything. The burden of proof is on you. So when it comes to business practices like this, we're guilty until proven innocent. But the only way we can prove we're innocent is if we go to court and sue these people. And who wants to do that over a small phone bill or credit card bill or anything like that? That's the problem we have. Is that we're guilty because they say we're guilty. That is these businesses, and they don't have to prove anything. It's as simple as that. So anyway, I hope this information helped out a little bit. Just remember, don't let these people harass you. Just tell them to buzz off. You're not going to put up with it. You're not going to be harassed. And if you are in the right, you really don't owe any money, then basically you need to tell these companies that you will take legal action against them if they try to damage your credit. It's as simple as that. But you should try the FBI, try the Attorney Generals, and try your local congressman to get something done about it. But unfortunately, most of our congressmen and women have been bought off by these companies. They got to get that big fat donation so they can keep power. God forbid if they lose and they have to go out and get a real job somewhere. Anyhow, thank you for your time, and I hope this helped out some.